说中文。
Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese. Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese.
Hi there, newbies. This is Chinese Pod. My name is Ken Carroll.
Hello there, I'm Jenny.
And we're bringing you a lesson in spoken Mandarin, no less. And I know that you, Jenny, shall reveal something about today's lesson. Shall you not?
I shall now.
Okay.
We are getting a taxi.
A taxi. Good.
Yes.
Taxi.
Which can be a tough fight in China.
Yes, it can be.
Yes.
It depends on which time of day.
Yeah.
I
And the
find-
weather.
And the weather. I find that on the streets of the big cities, there are bazillions, if not gazillions,
Of
taxis.
taxis.
There's just way more than you'll find in other locations. The problem is like the time of day or the weather.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
So those gazillion taxis can just disappear
That's right.
because there's gazillion people too.
That's right. Right. So there aren't that many private cars relative to the population on the roads yet. There are more and more, but not that many.
Yeah.
So what happens is that, you know, in the traffic rush hour or when it rains or something, everybody's on the street.
Yes.
And you got to fight for that taxi. Wow.
Yeah.
And it's tough going out there. It's a jungle out there. You got to be willing to fight. Anyway, here's an interesting little story. It doesn't actually deal with the struggles of finding one, but it's about attitudes and about taking taxis
Yeah.
and so on. Let's listen to it
3 times.
3 times, and then we'll come back and take it apart.
Dialogue first time.
我们走路吧，
太远了，
不远，走，
我不走，我要打的。
Second time.
我们走路吧，
太远了，
不远，走，
我不走，我要打的。
Third time.
我们走路吧，
太远了，
不远，走，
我不走，我要打的。
Ah, okay.
What do we do now?
Translation.
Of course. 我们走路吧。
Let's walk.
我们走路吧。
Let's go on foot.
我们走路吧。太远了，
That's too far.
太远了，
Too far.
太远了。不远，走。
It's not far. Let's go.
不远，走。
It's not far. Let's go.
不远，走。我不走，我要打的。
I'm not walking. I want to take a cab.
我不走，我要打的。
I don't want to walk. I want to take a cab.
我不走，我要打的。
Aha. Now, who might these people be? What is the context here?
Two friends?
Two friends.
I see, yeah.
Yeah. So one
Or husband and wife?
husband and wife, perhaps, or whatever. Two people, one is willing to walk to whatever the destination may be, and the other one isn't. That's what happens.
To support the taxi industry.
Yes. Yes, we've all been in this kind of situation. Let's take it from the top, shall we?
Yes. 我们走路吧。我们走路吧。
Now, really interesting sentence here. It ends with the particle
吧。
ba.
Yes.
And what does that do here?
It adds a level of enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
And also sounds like a suggestion.
Okay. So
走
it's,
路吧 urge.
an urge. It's a way to make a suggestion, but to also suggest that
I really want to do it.
I want to do it, but I'm also bringing you into the decision.
Yes.
I'm indicating my preference to 走路, to walk.
Yes.
But I'm also bringing you in. So it's a softening. It suggests, how do we do it? Let me summarize. It says, I want to walk, but I'm asking you if you agree with me, kind of thing.
Like coercion.
Very mild coercion.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so let's hear the sentence again. We'll go into it in a little bit more detail.
我们走路吧
Good. Now, we know that ba at the end
does that function.
does that function. Now, so the verb to walk.
走路
Now, the verb 走, third tone, actually means to walk.
to walk, yeah.
And 走路 means to walk on the street.
Yes.
It indicates we're on the lu. And the lu is the street.
Yes.
Okay. So 走路 means obviously to walk somewhere in a city or in a paved or on a road.
Yeah.
And the pronoun we,
我们
and when you put it all together, you get.
我们走路吧
Now, literally translated, this is we walk street.
Suggestion.
Suggestion, something like that. Yeah. And that's why you need the ba at the end, right? Because it's literally mean we walk street.
Yeah.
And then to make it sound, this is a
shall we
suggestion.
walk?
Yeah, shall we walk, right? If you just said 我们走路,
Sounds like an order.
an order.
We are walking.
We are walking. Yeah. And your interlocutors have a different opinion here.
太远了
Welcome back to another installment of Chinese Pod Trivia. And the question for you is, for what test does Chinese Pod offer preparation services for? Is it A, the polygraph, B, the colonoscopy, C, the HSK test, or D, the CAT scan?
The CAT scan?
Ooh, sorry, that is incorrect. The correct answer is C, the HSK test. That's right, Chinese Pod will thoroughly prepare you to pass this rigorous test of proficiency in Chinese. ChinesePod.com/HSK.
Now, the adjective far is,
远
which tone is that?
That's the third tone.
Third tone, yuan. And too far is
太远了
太远了. That's way too far.
Yeah.
It's too far.
You really want to walk.
Yeah. You don't agree. You just say.
不远走
So yuan meaning far.
far and the negative 不远 not far.
Not far. Now, I find this in Chinese is obviously very likely. In English, you know, if somebody says it's too far, you wouldn't say it's not far.
You say not really.
Yeah, you say it's not really that far. It's not all that far. In Chinese, you just say
不远
不远.
不远
It's not far.
不远
It's interesting that although the language suggests strong disagreement, in fact, culturally, I don't know how it come across as
acceptable.
it's acceptable. 不远.
不远
Yeah, I'm not forcing my opinion here. It's just that's just my opinion. I don't know how that works, but as an English, we way too direct.
Trust us.
Indeed. So 不远走 meaning walk.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your friend says 我不走我要打的
Good. Now 我不走 I am not walking. I'm not willing to walk. Now, this isn't, again, it's not confrontational. It's friends. It's exactly the way friends
Yeah,
would
it all
talk.
depends on the context.
On the context. And if you know somebody quite well, you can be direct in that
Yes.
sense. And that's perhaps the point. If it was a stranger, you'd probably use different language, in fact, which is an interesting angle on this.
Yeah.
But with your pal, you say, 我不走 I'm not walking.
我要打的
Now, 我要 I want to.
Then the juicy word of the day.
Yes.
打的
Now, this is really, really helpful and efficient. So tell us, what does 打的 mean?
means to take a cab, to get a
Or
cab.
to call a cab, right?
Yes.
To call or to get or to take?
All of those
All of
things.
those. Great. All right. 打 as in the third tone.
Yeah, it signals the action.
The action to strike
Yeah,
or to hit.
to hail.
To hail, in this case, yeah. Now, tell us this word for taxi.
I know, 的 actually is shortened from the word 的士, which is a Cantonese transliteration of taxi.
A Cantonese transliteration of taxi.
的士, it's shortened into 的 and originated in Hong Kong, but
Okay.
spread over to the mainland, and it's now a very common and standard way to say to get a cab.
Great.
打的
So what is the tone there for D?
First tone.
First tone.
打的
Da D.
And the word 打的 itself was coined in Beijing.
Ah.
So a very culturally and linguistically rich term.
So it was a sound loan from Cantonese
Yeah.
that got changed a little bit and then got reformatted up in Beijing.
Yes, and now spread to the rest of China.
So the term one more time is
打的
da di. And it kind of sounds like a transliteration of taxi in a very corrupted way. But anyway, I mean, it's actually a verb, right?
Yes.
It's a verb. Don't forget that. It's a verb. To hail a cab, call a cab, get a cab, whatever. Great. Da di.
Yes.
There you go. Now, that's a really efficient way to say because other words for taxi are actually
Very long.
slightly clunky. Okay, there you go. Hope that was useful. Let's listen to it 3 more times.
Dialogue first time.
我们走路吧，
太远了，
不远，走，
我不走，我要打的。
Second time.
我们走路吧，
太远了，
不远，走，
我不走，我要打的。
Third time.
我们走路吧，
太远了，
不远，走，
我不走，我要打的。
Okay, Ken, do you 打的 a lot?
I da di a lot. Yeah. And I try to avoid, obviously, the traffic hours.
How do
rush
you
hours.
do that?
Well, I just avoid them. I just stay home. Just... No, I'll
come to work extra early.
no, I come a little bit later. I avoid the rush hour by coming a little bit later and I stay
finish
a little bit
later,
later.
yes.
Right. So that means, avoid them on both counts.
Yes.
Dadi is a big issue here. Yeah, so you have the language to do it. Don't forget to go to ChinesePod.com.
Yes.
That's where you can explore this.
And relating the language.
That's it. Relating new stuff to old stuff, doing all the things you need to be doing, getting into conversations. I can't think of a better way to help you consolidate what you're learning is by discussing it and using it and figuring out how it's done.
We create learning opportunities and learning events.
That's what we do. And it's up to you to take advantage of those opportunities. But right now, this is the end of this little opportunity.
Yeah.
We have to go. But we will be back again tomorrow with another one.
Yes.
But right now, we have to say
再见.
再见.
As usual, ChinesePod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number
0732.
So just go to www.chinesepod.com/0732 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/0732.